at it. There's more advantages. So
So
yeah, man.
let's get to halftime.
Yeah. So Super Bowl halftime show. Kendrick Lamar, SZA. Oh man. I have not rewatched it. I watched it live. Um, I enjoyed the hell out of it for what it was. Now I have an issue with the limitations with it for rap when it comes to this because like I think in order to have uh a when you have a singer and there's no what do you call it, lip syncing, whatever else, you get or no backing track, you can get all the words, all the breath, you can make things, give them time to where they can catch your breath and stuff. When you have someone like Kendrick Lamar who is a fast rapper, is also doing some dance moves, whatever else. He is rap, so it has to be edited by the FCC. He has to make and he doesn't normally make like edited tracks, right? Um, I saw people not like this performance, and I'm like, I see their points, but for me, I still enjoyed the hell out of it.
The degree of
Some of the points
difficulty is
obviously
so high.
it's very high, and quite honestly, unless you're making edited tracks like clean tracks, like you make your explicit version, you make your clean version, or Super Bowl halftime show. This is one of the things that people always talked about as far as like the why it's never happened before, and seeing it in person, seeing it is like I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I also see what they were talking about. I see their points.
I don't.
That didn't hurt my entertainment of it, but like when people complain about it, I don't think it's all in bad faith. I do not.
I don't also think like I like this thing a lot, and I was very proud for a rapper doing that, and I don't think it was as deep as a lot of people were trying to make it. Like there was some symbolism and stuff, but it really was about his active music. It wasn't necessarily about his entire catalog. If it was me, I would have played
Right.
"Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe." I actually agree with him not doing "All Right" because I don't think "All Right" is like the message of that's the message of 2015. That's not the message of 2025. It's like
I
we need something more than just blind hope that we're gonna be
Yeah.
all okay.
Yeah. And also, I don't know. People forgot this. He already did a Super Bowl halftime
That's
show.
true. And he
So
did
I was
Mad
like,
City.
I was never expecting him to play that again.
Yeah. So the only thing I would have put in this "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe," as you mentioned, the many different
Maybe
things.
Money Trees. I think people love Money Trees.
Yeah. I think that as you mentioned, he had so many different things to do. The editing
Mm-hmm.
himself on top is just one of the craziest things to do as a rapper. You know
Mm-hmm.
these songs, you do them, and then you're like, yeah, you're live doing it. You're doing the whole verse that you normally have memorized. You're going up and down that fucking football field running. His breath and wind and his breath control is like out
That
of
was
this
impressive.
world. As far as
That's
like
another thing, right? Rich, that's another thing. We talked about this before in different way, right? When up north niggas talk about southern rappers can't rap, they have never sat down with pen and pad and tried to rap over a beat in this with a 70 BPM tempo. They're used to rapping stuff in the 80s and 90s. And then when you tell them to sit their ass down and rap over a slow beat, they're like, oh, I get it now. Uh Most people don't ever pick up a pen and pad and learn how to rap or perform rap, let alone do a rap performance. They don't know how hard that is.
right, and it's not like
Do what he did
it's not like it's singing where you're carrying a
with
melody
no
and it's
backing
like
track, no hype man to fill in the words either.
this is just
It's
like
himself.
it's just like the adrenaline that's probably pouring through him as well on that. It's
Yep.
like he was probably having an outer body experience as he was doing all this shit. Like I don't think you could tell him does he particularly remember anything about it. Like he'd be like, oh yeah, I know I gotta hit my
He's in a
spots
flow
here.
state.
But he was in a flow state, bro. He don't remember none of that shit. Like he got off stage and he was like, well, I did it, I guess. Like I like,
I can see that.
the dancers kind of forming the American flag. Like I like, I kind of like that stuff
Yeah,
because
I
I
like
feel like this shit is
the
like
Bloods and Crip symbolism of the red, white, and blue. Of the red, white, and blue. All the drop bodies. The Uncle Sam part is him basically being like the censorship thing. I got all of that. Some of this stuff deeper than that, I didn't pick up, and like I haven't watched it again to be like, because I was in front of a crowd or whatever else. Like I think I would appreciate it more watching it. by
Yeah.
myself, but like I picked up enough to recognize where he was going, and he was being subversive in a way. Some obviously, we talked about this when GNX came out. Like, we're at the point now because of the level of genius he actually legitimately is, that people ascribe certain things to him that might actually just be on accident.
Yeah.
His art, like, you're ascribing genius to him that like he may have not actually intended. It might have just been a beautiful accident that it came out that way.
When Peekaboo came on, that shit started like hitting different. Like it was like there was like a good energy like coming off of that. Of course, he does not like
Euphoria
us.
played, I lost it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
couldn't
I
believe he
jumped off
played
the
Euphoria.
couch when he played Euphoria. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, yes, like this song's to the
Once,
Super Bowl, and then he kept teasing not like us like
yep,
a couple of times, and then it was like I always knew he was gonna do it. There were a lot of people
yeah.
that tried to be way too smart or whatever, like that were giving interviews. Like I think my mom sent me something about Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon said he wasn't gonna do the song, and I'm talking to my mom on the phone that afternoon, and she's asking me, "Is he gonna do Not Like Us?" And I'm like, "Yes, like absolutely. There's no way he's not
Yeah.
doing Not Like Us."
Like, imagine you win you win 5 Grammys a week ago for a song that came out within the last year. You get a Super Bowl halftime show and you don't perform it. That would be insane.
Look, the NFL
I know
lawyers
people were like, Drake is suing UMG or whatever else. That ain't getting in the way of this.
at
I
all.
was never getting in the way of that. Ever.
So
Like,
he
yeah.
does the first verse of Not Like Us. 70,000 motherfuckers say A
Played
minor.
Man in the Garden. I was shocked.
Yeah, look, I would have left Man in the Garden out, but whatever.
I mean, he changed up. He did the backing instrumental, like that wasn't the actual instrumental from the rap, like that was some difference. But like I knew the words. I was like, oh, he's okay. Like the thing I liked about it was, I like his approach. I wouldn't have been mad if he played older stuff, right? Like he did Damn Me to DNA. I fucking love Element, right? He didn't play Element, but like he has a stadium tour to sell with SZA coming up this year, based off of the GNX album. He's gonna play GNX, like, so he put out enough time for people to absorb it, for the people that are actually ever going to care about it in good faith.
Yeah, it
It's a great album.
It almost seemed like he had the album out in time just for the Super Bowl. It seems like because he's like,
I mean,
it's almost like he needed a few more songs where it was like, okay, I can do it like this, and then he got like, like that second half of TV off. Like I would have loved to hear the first half, but like that shit was like, yeah, this feels really big and worthy of the environment. And Peekaboo, I think, rose to the level as well.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. He clearly did that for this moment, and like knew that people had eyes on him based off of what you got to say or whatever post. You post Not Like Us in that incredible weekend back in May, right? Or April, whatever that was. But he clearly, when he made TV Off, looking back at it, he clearly knew he was in the Super Bowl halftime show with that.
Bro, that shit is Not Like Us Part 2.
Right. But I mean, like, the specific, the
as
second
far as
beat,
the sound,
the mustard
yeah.
beat. Like, just because, like, when I first heard it, I was like, it sounds like this is his victory lap. Like this, ain't no, obviously the Biggie line, ain't no other Kings in his rap things, his siblings, I'm not sure, once I disappearing. But like once he goes through all that stuff and talks about, like he just killed it. Like that was like the victory lap. And then like he plays Not Like Us, and then he ends with TV. I was like, yep, GNX, and especially TV Off. The second beat on TV Off was specifically for like this one I'm ending this shit with. And like when he first came out with like the PlayStation controller like field, I thought it was just like I thought it was Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking of, and then you see the people running around like, okay, this Squid Game. It might be both, right? It might be a double entendre, right? But once he ends, and there's game over in the crowd. I was like, okay, it may have been both, but he was definitely heavily relying on like, I run the game now. It's over for y'all.
Yeah.
And it's over for you.
And it's,
who I'm talking about.
And it seemed like, well, we should talk about Not Like Us. Like, he does that shit, looks in the camera. Hey, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. Like, and he bulldozed that first verse, 70,000, A minor.
bro.
And
That
it's like,
what rang off too.
and it was just Serena Williams, there sea walking on this man. Um,
Look, man, I haven't been so happy to see her in so long. Like, man,
it's crazy,
I,
man. Like,
yeah,
and it's like it was almost like the game over is also like game over to Drake. It's like this is it. Like I don't think we
yeah.
need any more on
Do you,
this the epilogue. Like this is like
do
book
you
closed on the
remember?
battle right
Yeah.
here.
Do you remember the commercial like when he got the Super Bowl halftime show and he's like and like he's behind this gigantic American flag and at the time we were like, man, with this aesthetic stuff, with the American flag aesthetic with like Cowboy Carter and with him now it's like what the fuck's going on? Like I like how they both used it, but like it was just like it's he's like there this was like he was talking about like yeah man like there ain't no round twos in this. He was talking about that at the time, and then he does this and it's like this is how you use the American flag to show like to divide the American flag and everything and blood in the Bloods and Crips stuff is like man like he really put a lot of thought into this. I thought it was really well done. It's just the limitation of it is if you're not going to have a hype man up there, if you're not going to have a backing track, and you're not going to have clean versions, these are limitations that you're never going to be able to overcome.
Yeah,
And that's
the
going to be a
average
thing.
rapper is not gonna be able to like Lil Wayne would have passed out during this shit. Like I saw so many people try to bring up Lil Wayne as this counterfactual, knowing it's only because of Drake and the whole connection. But it's like no, man, Lil Wayne wasn't built for this. Like he doesn't have the records. Nope. He doesn't have like the he would not have out there with creativity of it. It wouldn't.
He'd been out there with just a DJ.
Yeah,
out there just a DJ.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been enough. Not enough. Like the Kendrick Lamar thing says, and it's like it. I kind of resent the entire Young Money, Cash Money, like the Drake, Nicki, Wayne, like pyramid of people, and with Kendrick Lamar,
the fandom or them,
the music that they made, the stuff where it's like. They innately made it cool to say nothing in your music as far as like there's no political commentary, there's no reflection of society in your music at all, and it's just become cool with everyone, right? Hip hop is resistance.
Okay, hold on. I will fight against that in regards to Drake and talking about his sensitivity when it comes to women. I will say he did have something to talk about, but it was my emotions and woe is me.
That's a personal problem for him. Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is there's something there. There's something there that Drake has beyond Wayne and Nicki Minaj. That's where I'm willing to shoot Drake bail on that compared to those other two.
Right.
And I ain't got no problem with Wayne being just a gangster rapper because he was a great gangster rapper. I ain't got no problem with it. But that's just what it was.
Right.
This is what it was. That's all it was.
But it's like it's like the people that have like, it's like they've never really said something that is like stuck with you. Like, and if they did, it was on like very lower level. It's like I remember the Georgia Bush song that he did at the end of Dedication 2. It was a freestyle on someone else's beat. He didn't put that in his own music. He didn't sell that to the public. Like he didn't. And then Lord. Just forget everything you know about who he's been taking pictures with the last few years and all that.
Yeah.
Like even that, it's like, all right, like what is the reflection of what's going on out here? And there's been none of that in their music. You can't say that.
None of them would have rose to that occasion.
That's why Kendrick Lamar is connecting with people like that. You're just throwing stuff on there that quote unquote sounds good or is just music that we've enjoyed the last 10 years. It's not gonna be enough to really justify them being there. Like there's so much like art in Kendrick Lamar stuff. It's not even about that because this is not the greatest Super Bowl performance I've ever seen. I would say it's like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8 or whatever. But like
I think all of Beyonce's halftime appearances have smoked this.
Right, but it's like Kendrick Lamar has separated himself yet again to where it's like, yeah, man, if we're talking about the greatest rapper of all time, it's not going to be far before we get to him if we don't start with him. Like,
Yeah.
and it almost necessarily isn't about like his rap ability. It isn't about like, you know, his creativity, even though he has that in spades or whatever.
I think it is because like I think his versatility. Like he's a, you know how people talk about Jack's of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I think he is like one of the most versatile rappers of all time, and I think that like GNX kind of, you know, like it was already there in my mind, but like that brought it to the forefront because like this is not, you know, for the most of the album, like this is not super thoughtful, like in-depth Kendrick. Like this is not Dying of Thirst. This is not Sing About Me, right? This is his most niggerish album, straight up. Like, and I loved it. And like, you know, I never really thought I was past the point where thinking like I was ever going to get that. And then he gave it to me. And it was like, I appreciative that like he decided to say, I can show you that I can do all this stuff. You know, people, you know, trying to get the slaves freed. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What are you talking about, bro? Like that was what was impressive to me. Is like, he keeps adding different things to his catalog. It's all worth a listen. And like, I think he's figured out like I can kind of, I don't want to say do this in my sleep, but like for those that doubted me as far as the hitmaker thing, you're gonna find out over this next run. However long this run goes.
Because it sounds like he's like trying to be like, all right, I really want to run it. Like that's what it feels like.
It feels like he's been put to that. He's been put on that. It feels like he's the next Ace. Like as far as I don't mean as far as like critically, I mean like commercially. I think he's gonna be the commercial Ace for rap. And I never would have thought that for him, even though I thought he was, you know, him, Drake, J. Cole were like the guys for the last decade. I never thought that they were gonna be like the landscape was gonna move in a way to where like this is gonna be the path for him now.
And now with PG Lang basically running all his own shit, he has incentive to keep going with it. He's not just like on TDE still, and you know he'll do an album when he does one and shit like that. I think he's gonna be more active.
Where is the Kendrick Lamar album? I remember you like, what top 5 you spoke on? He only comes out every like 4 or 5 years. Yeah. I remember that.
Like bro, I was so frustrated with it. I was like, bro, like what the fuck, like, because it's like.
It's understandable.
It was like while there's, you know, during these absences, it's like there's only so many people that are letting in the rap game. So it's like, all right, man, it's got to be you. Like at this point, it's not gonna be Jay-Z anymore. He can't put himself on the Super Bowl stage. He can't do it.
That would be hilarious. I mean, look, you once read an article about how Triple H is the Jay-Z of rap. I mean, if that was true, Jay-Z would do that. And it ain't like you can be like, Jay-Z ain't got a catalog to do that. Jay-Z could do that.
I mean, he could.
That could have been Jay-Z's first. That could, you know,
he could have did this 5 years ago.
Right, you know, yeah, like I said, like, you know those head coaching consulting jobs when they be like, we hire people to finance coach, and they look around and be like,
Doc Rivers,
me,
yeah,
it's me. You hired someone you hired me to find a coach. I looked in the mirror, I said, why not I?
It'd be a year, man. We having a lot of trouble. Jay-Z comes to him, man. We having a lot of trouble, you know, feeling, you know. I had an idea, you know, we could go with it. You know, we can just push the button and get it going or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm right here, Hove. You know, God's son, not Nas. Hove.
No, Niflane. No, what we mean as far as like Jay-Z, like he went from. We're not comparing the talents. We're talking about like
just parallels of the career.
Parallels career went from top push rapper in the game to all of a sudden you're in charge of the shit, like being the head of Def Jam, being the head of NXT, being the head of talent relations, right?
Dismantling your team, rebuilding
it, starting over again, like Rock Nation and all that shit going on. Now running WWE, like there's a lot of parallels. Oh, Beyonce, Steph McMahon, like yeah, there's a lot of parallels. When Rich wrote that back in the day, he wrote, what year was that?
2013.
13.
The original
Jesus.
one was
There you go.
2013. I updated it in like 2017, but I lost that one because it was on Lords of Pain. So
Okay, so
it would
Nif
be
Lane
funny
says
to
Jay-Z didn't.
do it again.
Check this out. Nif Lane said Jay-Z didn't take my fandom in the early 2000s. That's funny. He take my fandom in 2006 when he dropped Kingdom Come because that shit sucks. so yeah, he had it done too. You can knock it off. Like we ain't on complete parallels. We just saying like there are
Triple H's
some like resemblances.
Triple H's drug dealer era. It could be just him hanging out with all the druggies.
Good point. So the click, yeah, like all them dudes on them
on everything.
Summers, Summers, right?
Yeah.
But they on them pain pills, whatever else. Like, hey man, they ain't too different from moving their work.
Yeah.
They were trafficking. They were both trafficking.
Look, them niggas was transporting.
Yeah.
Like they had it in the van,
Brewhaven was like, oh my god, the click. Oh my god, Jay-Z released.
Bro, the
Jay-Z.
more you think about it, bro, I fleshed the whole thing out, bro. If you do a search right now on Google, go search Triple H, Jay-Z, rap, wrestling, Rich Latta, and my name. It'll pop up and read it. And this was written in 2013. So like, there's more I can pull from this.
There's been another decade to make it look even closer. So I don't know if you missed this article, but it's like when they first started and they first got into the game, they were not the chosen ones at all.
Yes.
At all. And then via circumstance, they're able to finagle their way into being the guys.
Look, Nas out here was making questionable albums. Biggie dies or whatever. So like Bret Hart going to WCW and Shawn Michaels gets out the way, like Biggie, gets out the way. Bro, there's so many.
Is the dynasty
the dynasty is like DX after WrestleMania 14.
So I was gonna be like, is the dynasty kind of like, all right, okay, so because we're in the middle of the commercial thing on what's called. I'm gonna wait till they come back so I hit you with this one, right? So I got one for you. I think you can laugh at this one. So for 3, 2, 1, I think we're back. Yeah, so we're back. So like back to the Jay-Z and Jigga Man comparisons. Like is like post WrestleMania 15 to SummerSlam 99. Is that the Dynasty album? Whereas like he got finds Kanye West, finds Just Blaze, right? And then like this, like something's brewing
Freeway
right now, right? Some's brewing, right? Yeah. Some's in the water, and then all of a sudden like the mega push comes. The what do you call it? I forgot what he used to call it, Triple H. As far as like he was unbeatable at that time. Where it's like, yep, next thing around the corner, the blueprint. Like it's like
all that shit kind of lines up all at the same time.
Like yeah, man, like this nigga getting unfair help now. This nigga got Jay-Z. I'm sorry, Jay-Z out here with Timbaland, Bink, Just Blaze, and Kanye West produced the whole album. That shit's unstoppable. You can't do nothing with it. This man, look, that man got Stephanie now in his back pocket. This man done put on 20 pounds of muscle in 4 months. This man having the best match of his life all of a sudden with Mick Foley. I guess he gotta maybe he gotta try with Rock and Austin. It don't make no sense. That's the part that don't make no sense. Like let's pretend Austin, when he broke his neck, never came back like Biggie never came back. Like one of those, like like there was a scarcity in a power vacuum for him to jump into at that time. And man, he damn sure did. Yeah. Damn sure did.
Yeah.